Evening, everybody. Tanya Vilar, the Southern Muse. And again, we're on day 19 of A Course in Miracles. I'm going to go over the two lessons today that were day 18 and day 19, which talk about we're all in this together. If you see it or if you don't. Okay? So, to introduce these two lessons, lesson 18 is I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. And then lesson 19 is I am not alone in experiencing the effects of the thoughts about, and you fill in the blank, okay? Now, in Global Relationship Centers, when I was teaching in that class, Bill Riedler introduced what was called private logic versus common logic. And tonight in the Zoom room, Susan went over brain spotting and some of the interesting things about your limbic system. And she did this, I'm going to try to do what she did, but basically she did this number here. Hey, Angelita. And she talks about in our brain stem, this is the limbic system, which holds our emotion and our flight and our fright, right? And this is like our frontal cortex, our higher thinking and being able to think things through and connect to our heart and all of that. Whereas the limbic system, in my experience, I call it the startle response. You know, the things that trigger you. And everyone has different triggers, right? However, as the Course in Miracles talks about tonight, I am not alone with my triggers. You know? And so in life, what'll tend to happen that doesn't feel miraculous is when a group of people get around something that they're triggered. And I think when we talk about as we move forward, you know, as a human race, right? Like human beings worldwide, what you're seeing is a renaissance. It isn't new thought, but it's the next level of integrating this concept of, instead of our private logic, our limbic system logic that makes us think we're alone, that nobody loves us, that no one understands us or listens to us. That's private logic. And private logic is usually formed by trauma and events that happened to you before you were even 3, bless your heart. So, and it moves so fast because decisions you've made about trauma, you know, is about life or death. So at the time you made them, you had the experience, it was valid. But as we grow older and we're still operating from the startle response nervous system, then we start thinking that we're alone and no one shares our pain, no one would understand who we are, no one would appreciate what we're going through. If you hear yourself say that, you don't need to change your whole opinion. Lovingly say lesson 18 and 19 to that thought, that I am not alone in the way I see this. I'm not alone in my thoughts about this. Now, what's important is that when we relax off of that limbic system, stimulus response, trigger stuff going on, and we connect to common sense. Like, it's kind of hard to believe, you know, and I'm getting better and better in each day to get that, you know, I think I'm so insignificant. I'm not connected to anything. I'm this small. I'm like a little mustard seed in the billions of people that are on this planet. All the things that are moving around, all the emotions and sensations that I feel, all my triggers, you know? So all of that sometimes feels very lonely and like I'm very ineffective. And how could something, me feeling more love for myself and other people, how in the world will one little mustard seed affect anything? Well, if we as a collective are suffering, it's because we as a collective are seeing that we are insignificant. And what the Course invites you to do is realize that anything that isn't love is an illusion. And then you begin to feel and know you're not alone. You are significant. And you ripple. You may be one of a billions of people on this planet. But you have the power of creation within yourself. And connecting to common sense. You know, one thing that's true, if you ask people that you see, does anyone really want children to be hungry on this planet? Do we all want to see clean water for everyone? To have a roof over people's heads? Yummy, nourishing food in everyone's bodies? A thriving planet and an economy? We all say yes to that on the inside, from the inside out. And that is there. Right here, right now. It is. But the majority of us simply, mustard seeds, decide that we're going to connect to the common sense about love. Hey, Susan, you're awesome too. Thanks. Susan is who was the guest tonight, and we also did the long version of the clear plastic bag. So if you want to join my Patreon account and get the replay of that Zoom room, then all you have to do is click the link. Thank you, Susan. So remember, you have a choice in each moment to embrace. You know, you can feel loving thoughts in the midst of an illusion. You can do it. And practicing today and tomorrow. And let's do a little look forward. What's so beautiful about tomorrow, and it's also Inauguration Day, this is what we're going to be saying. I am determined to see. And what you think I'm determined to see? I'm determined to see love. Because that's what I'm made out of. And that's what you're made out of. That's what we have in common. And that makes a lot of sense. So sweet dreams, everybody. Go forth and multiply who you are. Because who you are, at the core of your atomic, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional being is love. Mwah.